I am taking a break from work. I'm on my lunch break and I usually visit the park. This is Central Park. It's beautiful, peaceful. It's like being one with nature. Before I came on my break, I was reading this article on CNN about this DJ, this famous DJ that committed suicide. A young man, very young man, I forgot his name. He was very successful, famous, rich, and I was reading the comments asking why would someone like that commit suicide? Well, the reason, oh, that's a beautiful bird, had me thinking there is a big difference between liberty and freedom. Liberty is something that can be given to you from the outside. For example, civil rights, money. Money can buy you more access. You can enjoy the finer things in life. And those things, finer things, give you temporary happiness, fleeting happiness. Because like a kid with a new toy, these new things as adults, whether it's a new car, going to a new hotel, or a new role, a new job, brings you temporary happiness. And then it's fleeting. We've been experiencing that kind of happiness throughout our whole life. What that leads to is more wanting, because you want that feeling back. So you want more and more, you want new things. And then when you don't get it, you feel pain. In fact, before you don't get it, you worry about not getting it. So you spend time worrying about an event, and then once you suffer the event, you suffer again, and then afterwards the event is packaged into a painful memory which you keep going back to, and then it haunts you for the rest of your life. Most of our suffering doesn't come from what happens to us. It comes from how we think about what happened to us and how long we hold on to what happened to us. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say there's this man who's in love with this girl, but things are not working out. Now, this man worries about breaking up with his girl, so he becomes jealous, insecure. He spends weeks, months trying to make it work, worrying, stressing at work, home, can't get it out of his head. So he suffers, let's say 6 months prior to the breakup of just worrying, insecurity, and then the breakup happens. Then he suffers again. What happens next? He packages this painful breakup, the whole worrying for 6 months, as painful memories that he now carries with him for the rest of his life, that he keeps referring back to over and over again. So in essence, he doesn't just suffer the breakup one time. He suffers way before that, and then for the rest of his life, because he's carrying it. Now, that's just one incident. We do that with multiple incidents in our life. And that's why obtaining money, liberties, more rights on the outside of you doesn't lead to happiness, because we still have those baggages that we're carrying in our heads. And that's why I differentiate liberty from freedom. Liberties are on the outside. You could have all your liberties taken and still be free on the inside and still be happy. On the other hand, you could have all the liberties on the outside and still be miserable and want to kill yourself, because you're not free from yourself. You can only be free from yourself. Liberties can be given to you on the outside. So when people are asking why this DJ had everything, yet committed suicide, that's why. He had liberties. He had money. He had fame. But he didn't have freedom. And the only way you could have freedom from yourself is by living in the present moment. That's where true and lasting happiness happens. If you constantly referring back to the past, you are stealing from yourself from living life. If you are constantly worrying about the future, wanting things in the future, if you want what you don't have more than what you actually have now in the present moment, you will never be happy. And that's why people that have everything are not happy, because again, they get a temporary happiness from those things. And like a child with a new toy, again, it fades, and then they have to keep wanting more, or even achieving things. You achieve one thing. I've been guilty of that. I've been obsessed with achieving. And the more I've achieved a lot in the corporate world. I went from being homeless to getting my master's degree to being a VP in the corporate world. Yet I fell in a cycle of wanting more and more and more, because it was never enough. The happiness I got from achieving was fleeting, until I discovered living in the present moment. When you are able to do that, you do feel light, you feel free. When you are able to let go of the past injuries, when you're not careful, but when you've been hurt in the past, you become careful. And then we have a lot of carefuls that we carry. So I'm against living carefully. I'm not saying live carelessly, but you have to be able to live carefree. In the present moment is the only time where you are actually detached from all the cares that you had in the past, all the cares of the future. You are carefree. You count your blessings. If at any moment you want what you don't have more than what you have, put your head in this mind frame, this mindset, right? Think about what you have now. For example, my right arm, my sight, that I could see these beautiful trees. I think about losing that. I think about losing my apartment, living on the streets. I think about not having the things that I have and how much I would want them. That makes me just appreciate what I have in life, appreciate the present moment. The more you can appreciate the present moment, the more you'll be able to forgive the past, and the more you'll be able to detach from wanting and desire in the future. I've learned that, maybe I said it already, but our suffering is not about what we've lost, what we have experienced. It's about how we look at what we've lost and what we've experienced, and how long we hold on to these things. And it's not about not getting what we want. It's about appreciating what we have. Hopefully, this message can help some people who are stuck in the chain of suffering. Again, you are suffering not because of what happened to you. You are suffering right now because of how you look at what happened to you. If you were in a bad relationship and you are free from it, because you are literally free if it was hurting you, why are you still suffering by thinking about it and being in pain? Why are you still holding on to it? It's affecting you right now in the present. And what about the future that you want so bad that you can't take time to appreciate what you have now? That's all I have for today. Just thought I would take time off and share some of my deep thoughts about achieving freedom and differentiating between having more on the outside versus having more of you in the inside. The last thing you want to be in life is a rich poor man. And there's too many people around the world living in that situation where they have everything that we think would make someone happy, but yet they're miserable. All right?